What is your will, my master?
Hey, what's up, Mac? Quick demo video for you for your Luke V3. Got this done this morning. Uh, we'll just go over it real quick. It's installed with the Proffie that you provided me. This does have the Rudy Pando chamber, so you know if you hold this grenade section and just kind of twist counterclockwise, maybe about an eighth of an inch or so, you can pull straight up on this guy. And then it's got that crystal chamber in there, right? I did wire the crystal chamber independently from the blade, so you can program it to do whatever you want. This does have the stock font package on it, but on the first font, I did a little something different with the crystal just so that I could show you that it was wired independently. And then even though you know your way around Proffie really well, there is a copy of the config file on the SD card in case you want to take that and build from it. So we'll lock this back down. You've got CC sabers in there for your main PCB. This takes a 7/8 inch blade, but this is extremely tight. I've got a test blade here that I've sanded over and over again over the course of over a year now, and it still barely fits in this guy. So I'm going to try to get it in for the demo, but I may not be able to do that. Just know that, if you have a 7/8 inch blade, it's going to take a lot of sanding to get inside of here. This is a 2-button setup. So the clamp card has your switches in it, right? Your power button is in the front. Your auxiliary is in the back here. The clamp itself is not quite as wide, or I'm sorry, the card is not quite as wide as the clamp, so you can kind of see that space in between the card and the clamp over here, right? So I've got it set in there to where it's not going to fall out, but just realize that it doesn't take much for this guy to slide off to the side and come out if you have this clamp open. With this clamp lever closed, though, I find that it really doesn't go anywhere. It's pretty tight. I made those switches as tight as I could, but still able to actuate. I did do some Dremel work on the other underside of this clamp card, and that's something I typically have to do to give myself some travel room, right? So because originally the card was as thick as the holder, so there's no room to go up and down. But I got that all worked out, and you shouldn't have any problems with that. This has a 28 millimeter speaker, but the speaker is located on the bottom of the Pando chamber, so it's about right here. And then your sound venting would be like this hole and this slit, and then this hole over here, and these two holes, right? It's all these holes, but it sounds really good for the venting that it has. To get to your board, you want to just unscrew the back here. So we'll take this off. This is a chassis design I came up with last night. This is your chassis. Just says Solo Sabers over here for me. Your Proffie board's on top. I did use a little bit of glue to hold the board down. So I did adhese the board down to the chassis because you could get to everything right here and you never have to lift it up. It was a matter of putting some tape here or just adhering it, and I thought just adhering it was a little cleaner than tape, so that's the route that I went. But you can get to your micro USB and your SD card from right here. It's not picking up well on the camera, but I showed you pictures of it. You got a 1.2 millimeter recharge port here, so you'll need that adapter. And then I gave you a kill switch over here, obviously. So the battery for this guy is an 18350. I tried to put an 18650 in there, but it was butting up against the speaker drum and it was causing some issues. So typically with like a saber like this A1, we use an 18350 battery because it has a lower profile, and it gave me plenty of space for not only not touching the speaker, but for some sound resonance as well. So we'll come over here and we'll just flip the kill key, put this back on. Now, of course, I gave you motion controls. You got your LEDs firing up in there. Twist off, or we could come over here and hit activation. Auxiliary back here. turn it off. Now this is the particular font that I did something different with the crystal. So I'll have this a pulsating white, I believe. So this crystal is pulsating white while the saber is off. And then when it's on, it goes to blue just like the blade. Or the blade's not lit up right now, obviously, because we have it lifted up. So so on this piece right here, what some people do is they'll use long wires to attach the top of the chamber to the emitter. I don't do that. I don't like doing that. I use a 7-pin connector and a blade side PCB. So your blade side PCB is up in here, and of course your 7-pin connector is at the top of this chamber. So if you have this chamber open for crystal reveal, you're not going to get any power to your blade. I just like to do that. I feel like it's cleaner. But anyway, and when you hit auxiliary, you will see the flashes in the crystal chamber. And we'll lock this back down. Now, I don't know if this saber comes with greeblies that screw into these holes, because you can see threaded holes right here. And then you can also see them right here. It may not. If you have some, like a set screw or something you could put in there, that would be cool, because although this clamp is tight, if you just go cranking on it real quick or something, you might twist it a little bit. And for this type of setup, it's really important that this clamp stays exactly where it's at. All right, but we'll go to another sound font. Saber sounds pretty loud. It's surprisingly loud for as little sound venting as looks would say that it's got, right? Got a fire blade here. And you got a fire crystal. And we'll lock this back down. So yeah, that's pretty much your saber. And then when you're done with it, we'll just come back over here and we'll flip the kill key. I'll do that with the saber on. So you can see everything cuts off just like that. So it's working like it should there. Let me know if you got any questions, because that's basically your saber. And if everything looks good to you, I will get this out in the mail to you probably Monday, because it's Friday. And I like to actually hand these to the postman. So yeah, let me know. All right, thanks.